uncut, unedited. All right, people, y'all know what time it is. We're going live, uncut and unedited, people. You already know what time it is. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I tell you, this is the truth. Going live, uncut, unedited. Appreciate y'all coming in, taking the time. This is live, uncut, unedited. We got a video that I want to show that is very disturbing. And I want to hear you guys' comments. I want to hear from the parents, the foster parents, the grandmas. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I just want to hear it. And this video, my buddy D sent to me. Matter of fact, D probably don't even know I'm live. Let me let him know that I'm live, uncut and unedited. And this is real, people. I appreciate you guys for sending me different things and different topics. Some I pick, some I don't. But this is real. And I want to let you guys know that this is real. Nothing I do is make believe. I don't believe in all that make believe stuff. This is real. Again, if you're watching this video or listening by the way of YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Martin G. Johnson. And my YouTube family, those that are subscribed to my channel, come and check me out on Facebook, Martin G. Johnson. Some things that I show on Facebook that I don't share with YouTube. So vice versa. So glad for you guys joining in. Introduce myself to you. All you got to do is go back on my page. I go all the way back at least to 2016 for activism and crime chasing. So you'll know who I am. You know, you got people out here that's doing their thing, but they'll have no roots. Where did they come from? Who are they? What do they look like? People like to know who they're listening to. They like to know the background of who they listen to. They like to see the person's face, who they're listening to. But let me get ready to shout out some names real quick. And let me see. I'm sorry, people. D Boss, what's up? Live, uncut, unedited. All right. Sheila Rogers, I see you. Doretha, Don, Nico, Mika Jeffries, Kennard, what's up? Missy Jones. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Terry Brown. We're going to get started. I'm going to show the video. I'm not going to be waiting on a lot of people. It is late, and I realize a lot of people have to go to work, get the babies up in the morning. And again, my lines are open, 872-297-6389. Again, 872-299-0808. So if you can't get in on one line, call the other line, vice versa. That's it. So, all right, I'm going to show the video, and we're going to listen to it, and we're going to give our opinions, our judgments. That's all what it is. All right. Let me get this video started. I want to get it started. All right. It's live, uncut, unedited, people. Young lady. You see it for yourself. She's smoking some weed. She can't be no more than 12, if that.
Okay, you said what?
We're going to watch it again. I'm going to play it again. And I'm telling you, people, this is real. This is real. This is not no make-believe. Look at her.
You see the moles?
And she's not smoking like she's just her first time choking. I mean, choking and nothing like that.
You said what?
She's used to this. Look at this. All right. All right, people. All right, we seen that video. All right, I need you guys to call in and tell me what you think. Call in and tell me what you think. If you're a mother, if you're a foster parent, if you're a grandmother, if you're a father, if you're an uncle, call in. Let's talk about this particular video. Call in. Well, somebody said, well, Martin, weed is legal in my state where I'm from. It's legal. Mm-hmm. And you may be right. It's legal here in the city of Chicago as well. But there are some restrictions and rules to it, the laws and policies that's in place. All right, people, call in 872-297-6389 or 872-299-0808. Come on in. Okay, I got a caller just called in, and I'm going to bring them in. They got to hear the instructions before they come in, and I'm going to bring them in. I'm going to bring them callers in. I'm going to bring them in, live, uncut, unedited. But bring the call in, and they're going to tell us what they think of this particular video, audio, what we witnessed. All right, my caller should be ready. Hey, caller, where you calling from? I know you hear me, caller.
Wheaton, Illinois.
Wheaton, Illinois. All right, now what's your opinion? What's your thoughts?
I think it's wrong for a child to do something like that. And, you know, I'm at a point now, the parents should be held accountable for their child's action. I mean, to see a child like that smoking marijuana.
How old you think this child is? I don't know, but how old you think she appeared to be to you? Just by looking at the video.
I want to say between 7 and 10.
Ooh, I'll probably give it 10, something like that. Wow. Now, from your point of view, watching her smoke weed, do it look like this was her first time doing that?
No.
Wow.
Either she, not because you're either she had been around her parents and saw her parents do it and just got it from the parents.
Parents, this is our future. Let me say something. I want to say it. And if I get in trouble for it, I get in trouble. I remember back in 1979, I believe it was 79. Yeah, it had to be 79. I never forget. I stayed on 60th and Cottage Grove. At that time, there was some little row houses. It was called Woodlawn Gardens. You listen to Robert? And I got another call in. Okay, hold on. I got another call. And I see you, caller. I'll be right with you in a minute, new caller. And I remember I watched my brother. I think it was like 3 of them. 3 of them, they was freebasing, something I've never seen before. I mean, they was freebasing and all that. I've never seen this drug back in 1979. And I'm going to tell you, God, my witness, every one of those gentlemen that I've seen was freebasing in that playground area on my block. They all became hypes. They became crack addict. They became addicted for crack or heroin. All 3 of them, including my brother, in that thing. Hold on, I got a new caller. Hey, caller, where you calling from?
Chicago.
Hey, Chicago. So tell me, what do you think about?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So tell me, what do you think about the video that I played, and just tell me your thoughts, your judgments, what you see, what's going on with that?
Well, I think it's going 2 different ways. Because
let me hear.
I would have to play devil's advocate.
Okay, let me hear it. That's what I'm here for.
Because on one aspect, marijuana, the total subject of marijuana, safe, nobody never OD'd on weed and all that good stuff. And it has a lot of healing properties and the THCs and all the stuff they're doing with it is great. It's wonderful. The problem is that children should not be indulging in any type of mind-altering substance before their bodies develop. And, for females, that's 18, and for men, that's 21. So,
hold it,
the brain neurons.
Hold it. I got to stop you. You know I love you. Now, you just said that you spoke highly of marijuana. Now, for healing.
Yeah, I said I have to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
But children shouldn't indulge. Children whose bodies are not developed shouldn't indulge in it, and that's because marijuana, it deals with the endorphins in the brain, and endorphins don't rejuvenate; they slowly burn up. So there are certain cells that we have that don't replenish themselves. So for children, before you burn up your cells, they need to be developed before you even attempt to venture into something like that. So for adults that can use it for medicinal purposes and they can use it wisely, yeah, weed is a good thing. But for children who don't know the ins and outs of it, they don't know what it's about, what it does. They don't know the backstory on it. They're just, it's weed, it's fun, and make you laugh and all that good stuff. If they don't know the whole story, children shouldn't be indulgent in stuff like that. So the video that you showed at her age, way too young. Her parents failed, or they're failing. They should completely know, what at her age, 12 years old, ain't no 12-year-old got no business indulging in drugs. No, absolutely not. Totally against it. It's wrong. It's wrong. And whoever her parents and her family is, they failing. Absolutely. I tell them to their face. That little girl is online or however she got recorded smoking weed. No, her brain neurons aren't even developed yet. And she's burning them up before they even get developed. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's losing right there. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, so we gotta do better.
Well, let me say this, and maybe I'll play a little advocate right now. I remember my mom used to send me to the stove and light a cigarette. And you know me, I go to the stove, light the cigarette, I take a puff and pull, and without her knowing it, because if you catch it, you're in trouble. So it can start from there. I take in mind, in my adulthood, even in my teen years, I never smoked cigarettes or weed or anything. So this, by me watching my mom would send me to the stove and go light a cigarette and all that. And I used to light it. Sometimes I pull on it, puff on it, to make it light up. And be honest with you. So did that really make me a bad kid doing it at that time? But thank God I didn't grow up to be a smoker, didn't smoke. So, it's just something I just wanted. And I don't know if you heard, sister, while you was listening. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you smoked that's how I started. I've been smoking cigarettes over 30 years. It's my biggest addiction, and I'm trying to quit as we speak. But there's a difference between what you get from nicotine and the sad part is that cigarettes are more dangerous than weed. And that's real talk. Cigarettes are more dangerous than weed because of what it does to your lungs. But at the same time, cigarettes is not a mind-altering substance where you could be out and about and you off your square. Nicotine don't do that. Nicotine don't put you off your square. But for weed, it's a mind-altering substance. And for that reason, children, it is totally different to compare, puffing your mama's cigarette versus smoking marijuana. Was it bad? Yeah, because your mama sent you to the cigarette, like to the cigarette. She didn't send you for you to smoke. So in that aspect, it was wrong. But we don't have to worry about a kid sneaking a cigarette, totally being oblivious to their surroundings and stuff like that. Because they got so many different types of weed out here. They have different levels of weed. So while the person the kid, I mean, since we use the video, you know, as an example, she's smoking this weed. She don't know the level of it until after she smoke it and, you know, and indulge in it, you know. So marijuana puts you off your square. Let's be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? I was weed smoker. I smoke weed. Let's tell the truth. So marijuana, the reason why people do it is because it's a mind altering substance. It puts you in another, it puts you on another plane. That's the whole point. Just like people who drink liquor. Who drinks liquor if they're not looking to get a buzz? There's something you're trying to get out of it. So for children that are not aware, you know what I'm saying? They're not aware of their surroundings. They go and get, okay, prime example.
Okay, hold that thought. I got another call. Let me see. Hold on, my sister. I got a caller. Hold on. Hey, caller, new caller, 7708. How you doing? Where you calling from?
All right. Calling from the west suburbs.
Okay, I got one young lady in front of you. I want to hear what she got to say. Then you next, okay? All right.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, caller 0234. Go ahead, my sister. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, you know, I know that for a lot of these, you know, young girls, like you went live the other night, you know, and you were talking about, you know, missing persons. You know, that's a very good prime example. If you're under any type of drug, you know, if you've been compromised because you're either drinking, because let's be honest, alcohol is a drug, marijuana, drugs, cocaine, crack, whatever, anything that turns you into a different individual. You know, some people, it calms you down. That's wonderful. No one is saying that's a bad thing. But drugs have a mind-altering effect, and liquor has an effect. It is different. You know, so when you have children who are altering their mind, they not on a square. And I'm a firm believer that a lot of these, you know, missing young girls, not the older ones, but the young ones, 15, 14, 13, you know, everything is a party. You know, nowadays they popping pills. You remember, Martin, you did all of that advocating and going live about, you know, these kids popping pills. You know, we have children who, well, like I keep saying, their minds are not yet developed, and they're getting high and drunk, and they out here partying, and then they got to go home. So now you have 12, 13-year-old kids who are under the effect of a drug trying to go home. I can see how a lot of them come up missing.
Okay.
So that's why I said, yes, marijuana has a lot of good positive things, but it also can put you in danger if you can't handle it.
Hold that thought. Let me let the next caller go. Go ahead, my brother. 7708.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm glad that the lady that was just speaking talked about just the medical components of it, because oftentimes when I call in, I like to talk about just some of the medical things in regards to some of the things we're seeing. And you know what, Martin, it was very difficult to watch that video. It could be rather presumptuous to assume that she might graduate to other drugs, but also it might be right on point. I hope and pray that, you know, this was something that she don't continue to do and graduate to other drugs. It was just hard to see that. Someone with a daughter myself, man, it was difficult to watch that. Now, if I were to really, really, really play devil's advocate, I would say, well, how do you know it was marijuana she was smoking? How do you know it wasn't a prank? How do we know what we saw was what we saw? Another thing is the movie Belly.
Yeah.
One of the movies in which a lot of us, especially in the Black community, really like, is one of those cult favorites. One of the scenes, they have a very young male around the same age as this young lady. She looked about the same age, and he's sitting on the park bench and he's smoking, and he passes a blunt to Nas. Now, I understand it's a movie, but this is one of the iconic scenes in this movie, which a lot of people have watched. And so this imagery,
we resonated with it.
Hold on now. So this imagery is not new. A lot of these young men and young women who jump down into this lifestyle, what age do they jump down? 10, 11, 12. You know, for all intents and purposes, they veterans. They out here, they out here chiefing. They know how to smoke. They know how to drink. They know how to roll up. And so this young lady looks very comfortable and familiar with whatever it is she's doing, with whatever she's smoking. Because again, I don't want to be presumptuous and just suggest that she's smoking what it looks to be like marijuana, but I don't know what she's smoking. But it's just very concerning. But, is it any different than a parent allowing a child to be on mind-altering drugs who have ADD, ADHD, attention deficit, or any of these other drugs that the school suggests you put your child on so they can sit still? So let's keep it 100. The child is smoking what it looks to be marijuana, and we all have a problem with it. But don't no one have a problem with the drugs they put our kids on when they're in school, when they can't sit still. And that happened in front of everybody's face. So our kids is on all type of drugs. You know what I mean? It's just that when it's approved by the white judge, by the white people, everything cool. But this not the drug I'm concerned about. So if we gonna talk about our kids on drugs, let's really talk about it.
Well, you're absolutely right. Let's talk about it. My daughter has ADD, and I told them coming in the door, the school system, my daughter would not be drugged. I told them that coming in the door. My daughter has an IEP for ADD. So I told them coming in the door, we're not going to do drugs. So when you say let's talk about it, I've been there, done that. Talked about it a long time ago when she first got diagnosed. Actually, I diagnosed. I thought my daughter had dyslexia because her letters and numbers were backwards back when she was in kindergarten.
Well, and I want to
we went all the way that we found. Can I finish? We found out it was.
Hold on. Well, hold on now.
I told them coming in the door. I told them coming in. How you gonna tell me to hold on for my story and my daughter?
Ma'am, I
you,
sat here and was patient, and you thought. And one thing I want to be clear of is I'm not calling in here. I'm not. Ma'am, you interjected me. I didn't call in to respond to you. I'm calling in just to get my opinion. I'm not calling in to respond to you or anything. I'm just giving my opinion, just like you were giving the floor.
But you said
that's all I was doing.
But you said let's talk about it. You said let's talk about it, right? Did you not say let's talk about it? You said if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk. You said you said they put our kids on these drugs. We go. Basically, what you said was I'm not gonna go off about the weed when they put our kids on drugs.
Just responding to the video.
Okay.
So who are you?
Okay.
So he said he not necessarily. I thought he said talk, but
okay. This is what we're gonna do. We don't want to get on the argument. I'll let you talk for a minute. Let him talk for a minute. We'll do it that way. Okay. We just do it you back and forth, so we won't stop each other, let each other get the flow. We just have to cut it short.
Hey, Martin, I just want to just say this.
No. She was talking.
I just want to say that I don't want it to seem personal.
Right.
I don't want it to seem personal, the stuff I was saying, because it seems like she might have taken. I'm just trying to state my opinion based on the video. I just came in to make a comment, just like she did. So I don't want it to be no personal thing going on. You see what I'm saying? Right. It was more rhetorical. You know what I'm saying? That's all that was.
Okay, well, we'll just do it like this. I'm going to let her go first right now and say, I'm going to give her a minute to say whatever she got to say. Then we'll let you say what you have to say in the next call or whoever. Okay, we'll just do it that way. I understand. We don't want, because we're trying to get to some type of solution. Now, we diagnosing the problem right now. Now, what else? We need to get to some solutions too. Okay, go ahead, my sister. Then I'm gonna let you go for about a minute. Then I'll let him go for about a minute. If you need a little bit more minute to say, Martin, I need a little bit more time, I'll let you go. Okay, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
No, I don't need more time. He said let's talk about it. He said the doctors put our children on these other drugs. And I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying as far as the long-term effects, because those over-the-counter medications, they get dependent. Marijuana doesn't have that. I get what he's saying, but all I'm saying was when he said, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. So I told my personal story to let him know I've been there. It wasn't for argumentative purposes. It was we're hitting every dot. Put your ducks in a row. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're having this discussion about this based on the video of the kids smoking, and we bring our part, he bring his part, the only way that you can completely understand what anybody is saying is due to your experience. Because at the end of the day, we're going to see life based on the things that we have been through. And I'm letting him know. You know what I'm saying? If I could tell that my daughter got an IEP And if I can say in front of your callers, because I mean, at the end of the day, that's nothing for me to be ashamed of that my daughter got ADD. She's hyper. She's overly hyper. All I was telling him was that I told them coming in the door when they diagnosed my daughter with ADD, I told them coming in the door, no drugs. We're not doing that. And that was based on what I said earlier about how when you introduce children to mind-altering substances and drugs before their brain is developed, it can do serious damage. You know, a lot of these drug addicts out here that's on crack and cocaine, people see them and think, oh, you know, they just got off in the 80s, they got off in the crack and cocaine. A lot of times it didn't have nothing to do with that. Some of these kids was put on drugs by the same doctors that the caller was talking about. They put them on drugs. They said street drugs was bad, but they told them over-the-counter drugs was good. So I feel exactly what he's saying. When I said what I said, there wasn't to be argumentative with him. That was to let him know I know exactly what he's talking about. And we need more people to stand up because we got people to put their kids on drugs just so they can get a SSI check. Just so they can get an SSI check. And we have a lot of kids on drugs that shouldn't be. We got autistic kids on drugs that shouldn't be. They're hyper. Let them burn their energy off. My daughter, 16 years old, Martin, and she's spinning around in her room. Keeps calling it a spinner. Her dad called it a spinner.
Okay.
Because she turns around in circles. And I was the one that was like, she a little bit too old, but then she got to burn that energy off some type of way. But I would rather her spin around in her room while she on the phone and listening to her music and being a teenager than to put her on drugs. So actually, I was agreeing with the brother.
Okay. Well,
that's all I was saying.
Let me just say something.
With him.
Let me just say this. I think he hung up, by the way. I want to say this, and I said this probably like 2 years ago. Some of these parents are guilty of not doing a great job of.
You, Martin, and went south. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
I hear you now.
Okay. Some parents.
No, it went blank, and I couldn't hear nothing.
Okay. Some parents have since they cannot control their children, so they recommend the doctor to put them on some type of medicine and so they can get a check. Some parents are guilty of that. Because they know they can get some extra cash from the government if your son or daughter have a disability, or they figure they're too hyper and they can't do nothing with them and things like that. And they go and take them to a psych doctor, and the doctor diagnosed them and prescribed them medication. And man, there we go. And some of this is probably not that the children are acting out. It's probably some of the food, all that sweetener they feeding the children, bad diet and things like that, and bad parenting skills as well. So that's real. I know of parents have done that, and they get mad at me. Oh, you're not no doctor and all that. Well, hey, I could say you're not a good parent because you can't control your son or your daughter. So you figured, hey, the next thing it is to put them on medication to calm them down, and then you get a check for it.
Well, I mean, there are some kids that are so far out of control, Martin, that they do need medication. I'm not saying that there's absolutely no cause for medication. I was in healthcare for 10 years. So sometimes, you do have situations where it's so severe that they need medication. What I'm saying is that there are situations where that's not founded. You know what I mean? It hasn't gotten to that point yet. Like what I was saying, like my daughter, she got ADD, but she doesn't have a behavior problem. She don't disrespect adults. She don't turn over dead. She don't fight. So hyper, a lot of people have equated being hyper with being violent, and that's not true. Hyper just means you go like, okay, I'm 44 years old, Martin. I walk so fast. Everybody be like, slow down. We can't keep up with you. And I'm just in that. Everything I do it quickly. I wasn't diagnosed with any hyper problems, but I'm just a quick person. But with my daughter, you know what I mean? Everything is happening so fast, and she's just super hyper. Like I have to have coffee from her, sugar. I'm always on her about sugar because it does elevate it. So you're absolutely right. A lot of things with these kids, they're just being given too much sugar. But there are so many other alternatives, just like, what the topic is about, the little, the baby that was smoking the weed in the video. If you need to calm yourself down, because at the end of the day, what the caller was saying was like, it's kind of like a self-medication. Or at least that's what I got from what he was saying. There are so many different types of self-medications that are homeopathic, that are natural that you can do, to calm kids down, like keep sugar away from them, because sugar is a drug.
Yes.
Artificial sugar.
Yeah.
It's a drug. As you know, Martin, like you said, health, that natural sugar is brown. It's not white. So when you start seeing white sugar, it's got bleach and all type of chemicals and stuff in it. So there's a lot of things that our kids get on a day-to-day basis that would naturally make them hyper. So if the point is to be calm and be peaceful, there are so many other remedies that we can do, besides drugs. That video was very disturbing. It was very disturbing. And, I can't say that a person that, it sounded like he agreed with the video, like there was nothing wrong with it. I would be bothered for my 12-year-old child to be smoking weed on a live video. That would bother me. That would bother me a great deal. But like I said, I do understand what he meant when he was talking about the other drug. I do believe that a lot of other drugs are more severe. The difference is, you know what I'm saying, having a prescription medication at home sitting on your counter versus these kids going out into the streets and self-medicating. Because like I said before, children coming up missing. 13, 14, 15-year-old child that's inebriated is a predator's best fucking wish. I'm sorry, I apologize for cursing, but right. For them to see these children in the street, and they're inebriated, you can definitely, get a hold of a kid that's drunk or high, that's wandering the streets underage, So, no, I don't want my child smoking weed at the age of 12.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. I need to address something real quick. Tim, is it Timo? FRM D-Rag, call in. I want to hear from you. Call in. I think you're making a lot of comments and stuff like that, and I think you're going back and forth with people in the messenger. I want you to call in and give me some of your things. I want you to come and give me some of your opinions. I'd like to hear you. Call in. Call in, Tim. The number is 872-299-0808. I'd like to hear from you. Call on in. I'd like to hear from you. I like for a lot of people that's opinionated and different things like that. Come on and call in. Don't be a keyboard warrior. Call in. That's why I got you. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not always right. You're probably not always right. Come on in and talk to us, Timo. Come on, Timo.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, go ahead, Brother Robert.
And also got a question. I'm looking in the comments. There's Antoinette Smith talking some mess too as well.
Tell her to call in. Antoinette, she can call in. Antoinette Smith, you can call in as well. I'm going to give you guys a chance to express yourselves in front of the platform. I welcome you. I welcome people that don't agree or disagree or agree. I welcome you that. Trust me, I don't have all the answers. I tell people a lot of times, hey, I'm just a listener. I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I'm not an expert or a person that knows everything. Don't claim to be that either. I'm just giving my personal opinion, which is a judgment of this particular video. Now, I pray for the better. I gave you guys an earlier example when I seen my brothers back in 1979 freebasing. At that time, crack wasn't heard of. They was freebasing. I believe it was 3 of them. I see it clear in my mind, and all 3 of them became addicted to drugs. All 3 of them. So, and I'm gonna tell you, in the drug world, in the NA and alcohol, NA and AA, they classify weed as being the gateway drug. That's the first drug that normally people start getting high off of because it's more accepted accepted in, in society as not really being a drug where you can go, you won't go kill nobody, have to rob nobody, nothing like that. And they call it the gateway drug. It leads to other hard drugs. Those of you that's ever been in a substance abuse class or NA class or AA class, you know what they teach you guys. The first, we call it the, what do we call it? The 12 steps, the 12 steps. So I'm waiting on this new car. Yeah, okay. Timo said, Martin, I ain't did nothing wrong to Antoinette. No, I'm not saying you did nothing wrong. Or either, both of you guys can call in. Let's talk about it. Listen, if I thought you done something, I'd block you right now, but I didn't block you. I want to hear from you guys. That's all. That's all. That's all. Don't complain about the sister talking too much and you won't call in. She took the initiative to call in.
Oh, somebody said I talk too much.
Yeah. They did say something. Next call in the comments.
Tell them to come on and talk. And
right.
If I'm talking too much, tell them, y'all call in.
Right. That's all that's all they have to do. I mean,
give us your part.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Hey, we just giving our opinion, about it. That's all it is.
Everybody want to be anonymous, Martin.
Yeah, well, hey, listen.
They want to stand behind the scenes and tell everybody else what to do.
Man. And I listen, I don't always agree with the sister, but I'm gonna respect her and I'm gonna hear her out what she got to say. That I'm gonna give her that much respect. And I think we all should do that. And we all should do it to each other, whether we agree with each other or not. So, Antoinette, if you want to come on.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, that's how you learn. You got 2 ears, 1 mouth, and 2 eyes.
And 1 mouth.
And 1
that's
mouth. Right. Older person taught me, he said, your eyes and your ears are your university. That's it. That's your learning. Your eyes and your ears.
I agree. But what you were saying about the gateway drug.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to introduce. Hold on, my sister. Antoinette, Martin G. Johnson. Antoinette started it all by saying you have too much time on your hand and you need a woman. Come on now. Why y'all all in my bedroom and all that? My God.
Why?
I mean, what does that got to do with me?
God.
And that's
who would say something like that?
That's people just they
you got a whole show. You got a whole show and you chase crime. And she said you got too much. This is the person that said I talk too much.
I might be because I done read the comments.
The person that wait. The person that said that about you was the same one that said I talk too much.
It probably is. I know I read them comments down the line. You got to scroll on down.
Okay, well look. No. Okay, well if I don't know because remember you told us we can't be online while we're talking to you because it'll create an echo. So
but you could turn
online. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this, sweetheart. No. Whoever this Antoinette, whatever your name is, for you to come on here and for you to attack people like that, you a whole clown. You really are. Because I'm going to tell you something. You talking a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes and in the comments, but you have been given an opportunity to come on the platform to talk to us directly. So if you ain't woman enough to do that, then I'm going to need you to be quiet, boo-boo. Sit down, back, and listen like everybody else and be quiet. And that goes for anybody else who's watching this or listening to this. If you have something to say, be respectful, come on the platform, and let's talk like adults. But that in the comment section and being insulting and being cruel, that's bogus. And we're not gonna get nowhere as a people like that.
That's right. I got another.
We're not gonna do that.
I got another caller. Let me see what they got to say. Hey, caller.
Hey, Colonel Tracy.
What's going on with you?
Hi, Colonel Tracy. How you doing?
I'm blessed. Go ahead.
We need to come up with some solutions. We need to stop criticizing each other. It takes a village. It takes everybody to raise these kids. I saw the video. The little girl probably watched somebody smoking. Stop pointing fingers. Like one of the brothers got on the show and said a week ago. Start speaking positive. So I'm learning to start speaking things into existence. We gotta help each other. We gotta save each other. We gotta come together as one. So stop pointing fingers at each other. I've been reading the comments. Get off of the negativity. Get on some positive energy. We got to save our own kids. We do.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
So
I agree.
So take several seats, because people, you really don't know what your child is doing. Ain't no perfect person out here. So you better be mindful what you say at your mouth, because your tongue is a powerful weapon.
Very powerful weapon. And let me just say that.
So
Yeah,
I had
your
to get
tongue
on that.
expels.
Yes, I had to get on here once again. Come on, y'all. We as a people, we, meaning everybody. Everybody. And I'm going to say this again too, Mike. You better be careful what you say out your mouth and how you treat people, because you never know who you're going to need.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
in the words of my grandma, she's 90 years old. Say it in your head and not say it in your head, and don't let it come out your mouth.
All right. Well, let me just say
So,
that.
My auntie used to say, my auntie used to say, the birds fly high in the sky, but they gotta come down to eat.
So
Mhm.
for the people that's on tonight morning, I want to lead them with something. Reevaluate yourself, please. We got to save our youth. We losing them day by day.
And that's correct. We're losing our youth. We're losing our youth. We
We
have to.
losing our.
We have to save them.
I wonder how many people fall down on their knees and just call on, just say, Father, help. The blood still works. I'm going to say something, then I'm going to go, Martin. I read on Cameron where they cut a young man's head off today on 79th Street. 21 years old. And they found his head in a book bag. Y'all never, prayer works, y'all. Prayer changes things.
Okay.
I'm a strong believer. Faith come by hearing. Faith works. If you don't give God no work, it's dead. It's dead. And when I'm gonna say, it's a lot of evil in the world. It's a lot of evil people, evil demonic spirits.
Okay. I hold it,
So,
sister. Hold it.
Why they getting on their bed, huh?
Hold it. Antoinette Smith said people need to realize no matter what you say, I say, or Martin say, these young people don't care about nothing. Ain't nothing going to change. This new generation of people don't care. The killing ain't gonna stop. I want to ask Antoinette, just call
Okay,
in.
look, Antoinette, you attack Martin, you attack me, you attack everybody, now you attacking the kids. Look, Antoinette, don't nobody want to hear nothing you have to say. If you call in to the show, if you want to be heard.
Tell Antoinette, I'm going to do her a favor. I'm going to ask God to fall down. I'm going to pray for Antoinette. How about that? I'm going to pray for Antoinette. And watch God work.
Let me just say this. So Antoinette, we supposed to stand still and watch our babies, our children, our future, our grandkids, our children, our young teens, our preteens shoot and kill each other and don't say nothing, just fold our hands up and don't say anything? Or do we try to reason with them or come to some solutions, try to talk to them? Now, don't an effort beat a failure? Come on now, Antoinette. Come on now. Just think about it. I don't know if you're a parent or what, excuse me.
Right. I was going to
So,
ask that.
hold on, let me still talking. Antoinette, look at this, sister. We can't just sit still and idle and don't do nothing. We just gonna let our children take drugs, smoke drugs, kill each other, have sex, just do whatever they want to do and don't say nothing. So what are we supposed to do about our future here in America as being a black man and you being a black woman, I'm assuming? What are we supposed to do? We just supposed to let our children run wild, don't discipline, don't talk to them, don't say nothing. Call in, Antoinette. You know the number, 872-299-0808. That's all you have to do. I just want to hear from you. I'm not going to cuss you out.
Antoinette ain't woman enough. Antoinette ain't woman enough to call in. I said it.
Well, Martin, we got to save our kids. It takes a village. It takes everybody. Our kids don't come with a manual and they don't come with instructions.
Yeah, well, I tell you one thing, sister. I love that village talk, but ain't no village. The village is gone in our community because a lot of these parents right now, they don't even want you to say anything. They don't even want the school teacher saying nothing to their child because they'll go up to the school and try to fight the teacher.
We got to rebuild it.
Yeah, we have to rebuild it.
We got to rebuild it. We have to rebuild it. And how you rebuild it? Wait a minute, sweetie. How you rebuild it is you have to know who your tribe. You have to know who your tribe is. And you know, people think that their family is their tribe. You can have the same blood pumping through your vein as your relatives and have nothing in common with them, and they're not on the page that you're on. There's your people, love your people and your relatives, but that doesn't mean that they're your tribe. Your tribe are the people who you have the most in common with. The morals are the same. It'll line up with what you're trying to do, what your mission is, and what your journey is. And that's what we have to do. Like what you say all the time, Martin, it don't take everybody. It just take a few.
Just take a few of us, enough of us, and we can get the job done.
There you go.
We can get the job done.
That's your tribe. Your tribe is the few. The people who are on, like when y'all did what y'all did with the nail salons that was attacking women, y'all did what y'all had to do. You shut them down. It wasn't everybody. It was a few. You got with your tribe for that goal. Because a lot of times you have to bob and weave in the tribes. Okay, this is the mission. This is what I'm on. This is the truth. This is what I want to fight.
Right.
And that's how you do it. And it do take a village. But, you know, the village it ain't going to be the people that you want it to be. It's going to always be people. It's going to be new people, old people. It's going to be whoever at that point in time say, you know what, that's wrong, and we got to stand against that. And that's how you do it. And as far as, you know, teaching the children, as far as the village, that's our community. Like what you said, you told me one time, you say, we ain't got no community. And you said that, Martin. You said we ain't got no community. We're going to rebuild the community.
That's right. We're
going to rebuild the community. And and you got the best platform for it. So, you know, you can get dates, times, what's the mission? Whatever we own at that moment, let's be on that at that moment. And let's, you know, and I ain't talking about you, I'm speaking in general.
Okay.
You know, be real about it. You know, be real about it. And if we have a mission and this is what we're going to do, then that's what we need to do. And it starts one at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just having that one kid in the neighborhood that you see they lost. I mean, we know how this go, Martin. You know, we all knew who on the block was a dope fiend and they running the street, they kids in the house by themselves. Go knock on their door. You've been living next to them for 10 years. Knock on their, look, man, I know your mama gone or whatever. You need something to eat here. It starts off like that. But, you know, like I always say when I call in about this thing with, you know, our people with, it's not my business. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's how you become a village. Stop saying it ain't your business, because it is your business. It's all of our business. And it's a beautiful thing when we come together for a common goal.
Somebody's trying to call in 872-299-0808. If you can't get in on the 872-297-6389, try the 872-299-0808. Trust me. If you can't get on one line, try the other line. They both are. One is going across the screen. I'm sorry, and one is over my head. So that's all it's been. Go ahead, my dear sister. You can go ahead. I just wanted to say that because somebody said they was trying to call in.
I'm just saying we gonna help it's the youth, because when adults get grown, the first thing they say, I'm grown. You can't tell me what to do. You're right. I can't tell you what to do. But we can always, be impressionable upon the youth. Right. We can always turn the youth. We can always, because the youth, they still got that innocence about them. They got their dreams and their goals. I was just telling a friend of mine about a week ago. She was telling me that her son don't want to do nothing. Like, she didn't, brought all the pamphlets, all the neighborhood stuff, so he can do this and do that. And he's just like, he just wants to stay in his room and play video games every day, And I told her, I say, a kid without a dream, something is wrong. So she got mad at me because I told her, I said, if your child just want to stay in the room all day, every day, and your child don't have a dream, it is your job as a parent to make that child passionate about having a dream. Because what kid don't have a dream? I've never heard of a kid that don't be like, this what I want to be, or I want to do this when I get grown. She like, my son don't have a dream. And I'm like, you got to look in the mirror at yourself.
Well, my thing is, see,
kids want to do things.
That goes back to what I told you guys. As long as we're giving our children everything that we didn't have growing up, instead of teaching them everything that we didn't know growing up, that's what we should be giving them that knowledge and that wisdom and understanding of things that we didn't know, that we didn't have. People, I'm telling you, I've heard a lot of people say, even myself, if I had the knowledge that I had back when I was 20, I'd be far along in life. So if you planted that seed and you didn't limit your son or your daughter time on the video game, listen, that's your fault, mom, dad. That's our fault. Let me just say our fault. We can't just let our children play video games for 8 hours every day. Well, Martin, they don't go outside. He don't bother nobody. He ain't in no game. But still, we got to have a structure. Video games are violent, some of them. You got some of these gangs are the shooting and killing and mud and blurred and blood everywhere. So we have to be careful. Even when we ride in the car with our sons and daughters, they got their face down into their tablet or their phone. They're not paying attention. Even when we're sitting at the dinner table, they're looking at their phone. They're eating with one hand and with the other hand, they texting. That's not good. We have to communicate.
Totally
That's all I'm saying. I can't tell you how to run your house and all that. But when we start these bad behaviors and then we try to break them, then it's too late. It's like this, sisters and brothers. It's like, I know I got all sisters online, but I'm saying I got men listening as well. If you have that son or that daughter and you never discipline them while they're coming up, now you wait until they stand 5'6" and 5'5", weighing 130, 40, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, standing 6'6", and now you want to take a bat and bust them upside the head. It's too late. It's too late. You waited too late in the game. It's like a student. A teacher give a student two students some homework. One student wrestle all night, stand up all night doing his or her homework. Then when the student goes to work in the morning for lunch, breakfast, the other student said, well, hey, did you do your homework? Another student said, yeah, can I copy off of it? That's not cool, people. But this other student, they labored all night long and sacrificed. Here this other student did whatever he or she wanted to do with her time. Now you want to copy off my paper after I just struggled and got all the answers and read and sweat and all that. Miss dinner. No, other words, I'm saying it's no makeup. It's no makeup, period. Go ahead. I'm talking too much, y'all. Go ahead.
No. That was a good point. Keep going, man.
Yeah. That,
right.
Because the show ain't about me, it's about us. I talked last night for 40-something minutes.
No,
Yeah.
but your topic.
Yeah, right.
But your topic was good. You can't copy off nobody else's paper when they put the work in.
You're right. They put the
Unless
work
you're
in.
gonna pay them.
Right. You know
really,
what I'm
because
saying?
everything got to play. Unless you're gonna pay. You gonna pay for this here? Because the blood, sweat, and tears
Right.
that went in last night, you got to pay for that.
Right.
I mean, that's real life.
That's real life. And
So ain't nothing free. So
yeah. And it's like
That's
y'all
why
heard the
we-
story. Those of you that went to church and you heard the stories about the 10 virgins, 5 was foolish and 5 was wise. And they was all virgins, and the 5, they trimmed their lamps with oil. The other ones didn't. So when the person came back to receive them, they asked the ones that trimmed their light, can we have some of your oil? They didn't give them the oil. That's how the story went. So I'm telling you, people, there's a preparation that we have to do in life. We have to prepare. We have to organize when it comes to family and things like that. You listen, people. Oh, I want to say this, but I can't say it. Something came to mind, but I can't say it. It's got to be adults only. But it's terrible out here, people. We have to invest in our children. Your biggest investment is not a home. It's not the stock market. It's not your car. It's not even your husband. It's your children. It's your seed. That's what it is. And you and your husband, your spouse,
Yes,
you guys supposed to do that together. Groom the seed, prune the seed. That's your best investment. Because when you long gone from this place, your seed is here to represent what you put in him or her. And my father always told me, he said, children can make you laugh. Also, they can make you cry. I'm telling you, people, it's like that. Okay, y'all go ahead and say the last comment. Go ahead, because I'm going to go ahead and close. Go ahead. I've been on here about an hour, almost an hour. Go ahead, guys. Say what you want. You can take 5 minutes, whatever. I don't care.
They are little on your heart while they little. But when they get big, they are heavy on your heart. They real heavy on your heart.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So my dear sister, did you want to say something? I'm going to close it up.
All I can say is that, you know, everybody, you know, pay very, very close attention to your kids. You know, you'll be surprised. They could come up with the next cure for the disease, or they could be the next biggest crook that make the news. You know, it's all on the parents, and not totally. I'm not blaming the parents, but you know, you have to pay attention to your kids, you know, so you can know what's going on. You know, they got that in the psychology field, you know, one of the biggest indicators of, you know, if your children are going to grow up, you know, to be psycho, is, you know, hurting animals and anything that's, you know, that they consider to be weaker than them, you know. And I see so many people that see their children, you know, doing things that are, you know, off or, you know, just weird or cruel, you know, and so many parents, you know, make excuses for them. You know, we definitely got to stop that, you know, and we have to call things out, you know, like the little girl, the video that you showed that started the live. All I can say is this: whoever her parents and her family is, I can only hope, you know, that they saw that, you know, and they confront the situation, you know, because I'm surprised that ain't nobody reported the video already and had it removed. You know, that scares me more than anything, that it's still up there and nobody, no family member come forward like, you know, this is embarrassing. You know, no, you don't do this. You know, the fact that it's still up there is what worries me, you know, that nobody's paying attention. So I guess in effect, I feel sorry for the baby, you know, because if she's on there with weed and ain't nobody called it out yet, then maybe that just means that the reason why she out there doing that is because don't nobody care. And that's the last thing I'm gonna say. Okay. Somebody got to care.
All right. What I want to thank
right, you. Have a good night, Martin.
You too. I want to thank you guys for calling in, all my callers. I want to thank all my listening audience. I want to thank my YouTube family. I want to thank my Facebook family. I thank you guys so much, because I know you could have been asleep right now or making out with your loved one, your husband, laying up on it, but you decided to roll over, look at the telephone or the computer. I appreciate it. Trust me, I really do. I'm hopefully, when we have these discussions, it's not to have them in a negative way and point out all the bad things in our community. It's the things that we have to live up to that's happening in our community. In order to help a person, help your situation, you have to identify the problems so you can help the problem and find solutions. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to bring solutions, identify the problems, bring solutions, and give you information. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to embarrass nobody because, hey, I don't know it all. I don't claim to know it all. And I'm not an expert in any and everything. You know, I mean, I know some things. I've lived 54 years in this life, so I do have some experience. So my point is, listen, quit attacking the messenger and just listen to the message. That's it. You might not like the way I look. You might not like my style or my aura, but just get the food from what I'm trying to bring to you guys. That's all I'm asking. I can't make you believe me, but if you listen, I guarantee you something out of this live will be positive, will help you in this live. That's all I'm saying. So thank you guys for listening to me. Have a wonderful day. Thank y'all so much. Thank all my callers. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace out. Peace out.
Respect.
Peace. Respect. All right.
All right.
All right. Live, uncut, unedited. Live,